Have you ever been in a situation where you're hearing someone tell a story, and as it's unfolding, you think of somebody that you can't wait to go tell the story to when you get the chance? That was me as I was sitting in Leadership Stories class when Dr. Browning was telling us a story about a time when he went out for the middle school basketball team. His purpose was to illustrate to us how we were to compose our own assignment for an upcoming story. And as I was listening to him tell it, I couldn't help but think of my 15-year-old son, who was a freshman in high school and would be trying out for the first time for a high school sport, soccer, and was going about it with a rather nonchalant attitude. And I was concerned that he was relying too much on his genes because he's a Spaniard and our family has lots of soccer players in it. We love soccer. We don't watch the Super Bowl. We watch FIFA, and it was just something that I knew would relate well to him. So I waited for just the right time. I waited for a time when we've had dinner, we're sitting around the table, comfortable, feeling really good, just eating. And I set the story up this way. I was careful to point out that this story was about a man who was 6'4", PhD, Dr. Larry Browning at UT. See, my son really wants to go to UT, just like his parents. So that kind of piqued his interest. And then I went on to tell how Dr. Larry Browning was the very tallest boy in his class, and this was his first school sport to go out for, basketball, which he felt he was a shoo-in because he was clearly the tallest member. He felt like he automatically, just by his height, outdid all the other team members, all the other students that were going out. And so when the time came for the coach to give out the jerseys to those who made the team and the one jersey to the alternate, he stood in line with the rest, assured that his name would be called. But as each jersey was given out, Larry Browning was beginning to think that he may not be getting one and he would be glad to even get the alternate jersey. But alas, in the end, not even that jersey was given to him. He didn't make the team whatsoever. I told how it was a real wake-up call for Larry Browning, and instead he decided that the next thing he did was going to be something that he was going to really put forth effort. He decided later in the year to try out the debate team, putting forth that great effort along with a classmate of his. They went on in their high school career to win awards on the state level and do extremely well. And eventually I mentioned that it took him to the career that he is now in. I pointed out to Zachary that he is a Lone Star player, has traveled the state, has got those great Spaniard genes, and has played every position and done pretty well. However, he can't compare himself to the other players because the point is he has to compete against himself. Tryouts mean you show your best, not better than the others, just simply your very best to the coach, and let him decide how that stacks up against everybody else. Because if you're going to constantly measure yourself against everybody else, your bar may not be high enough. So I don't know if he really took it to heart, but on Friday, just several days ago, the roster for this year's Westlake High School soccer teams was posted, and my son's name was on it. He didn't make the A team, he made the B team of JV, but there were some very talented Lone Star players that also made that B team. So I knew that Zachary had to put forth some kind of effort in order to make it because there were also some pretty good players who didn't make it. So thank you, Larry Browning, for sharing your story. It helped me to do my story in your class, and it helped my son to make the soccer team. I appreciate your class. It's been a lot of fun.